Chapter 32, nearing the end of the Torah. Okay, I got a poem, listen up. Everything I said and say is your law, because I am the Lord, I am the voice of the Lord your God, a real bitchin' God like no other. You lying, cheating perverts don't deserve, dull and stupid fools who speak like frogs. God made Jacob a lying son of a bitch, that's the sort he calls his own. Peasants that will do all to make the grade. He took the empty shell and made it full, changed his name to Israel. The promised land had been prepaid. And that's it for the poem. It's more redundancy. People get lazy from the fat of the land, forget that their fear of God, sacrifice to demons, non-gods, shit with no track records, like in any land, and that ain't good. Gentiles in general are a very bad lot. And shit about famine, plagues, pestilence, killer beasts, venomous sand creatures, a sword, and terror. Round and round between look what happened or will happen if you don't obey my laws. Bringing in the destroyed cities of the Amorites, Sodom, Gomorrah, those last two being before Moses. Any whore, what he's trying to say, and though he is a bald-faced liar and not a very good one, millions think they believe Moses when he says, "Look and see that I am he. No other gods but me. I deal death and life. I live forever. Flashing blade, judgment, vengeance. Those who reject me will make my arrows," now we use bullets and bombs, "drunk with their blood. My sword devours flesh. Blood of the slain and captive from those long-haired enemy chiefs." He didn't know about the Americas back then. He could have meant any other land nearby. In the Americas, they had never heard talk of the God of Jacob, Abe and Isaac. Didn't know that there was a God that wanted them all dead because they were Gentiles, or we sometimes call them heathens. They, those savages in faraway lands, Gentiles, a lot of them, were made by God just so the Israelites could kill them all, or use as slaves. So Moses told them once again to hate all forever, and always follow the laws of the Lord your God, bitch. Any fish, Moses was to have a look over the Jordan from Mount Nebo, so he could have a look before he died at the promised land. Now that's something a lot of people don't seem to understand, especially the Jews, that there would be some people who wouldn't like it, that there was a chosen race that said all other people were to be used is slaves or for practice for killing. Just murder them all. Have fun killing other people because they're just Gentiles and they're not the chosen race. And that's a bit stinky. It's a bit hateful, and I can see why someone would be anti-Semitic, especially anti-Zionistic. Anybody who thinks that this is the word of God should be kicked really, really hard in the ass many days long. Kick him and kick him and kick him in the ass. Don't kick him in the head, that's not very fair. But kick him in the ass repeatedly until he says, "What?" And then talk to him. And tell him, "Look it, you are full of shit. This book is a fucking fairy tale. And if you are going to justify your hatred to the rest of the planet because of this book, you are a fucking idiot." I think I mentioned that once before. It's a point that I would like to strike home. This book is a fairy tale. And it is not even an original fairy tale. It is a fairy tale plagiarized from earlier fairy tales. One of them being the very land they cursed with Horus and all the other gods of Egypt. That was bullshit as well. It was just making astrological stories into personification so that the slaves had some kind of fantasy to fear so that they would stay humble slaves and never complain that they were being slaves. Well, a very, very small portion of the planet was owned by the elite who made themselves elite and like to stay elite, and there is absolutely no reason for them to stay that way, and if they don't step down, it is okay to murder them. But not the children. You could probably get the children. Oh, I can't say that you should murder them. You can put them in prison though. Definitely put them in prison. All the super rich motherfuckers who are dictating hate, all the bankers who are selling lives, making money on blood. Blood money. I'll tell you about blood money, but not today.